What is up, guys? It is so good to be back here. Thank you for tuning in with me on this video. A couple of changes have been made to what I'm doing, and I also have to update you guys on things going on in life. So it is good to be back, and on today's video, I am going to be getting ready for March Madness. Well, if you guys have seen any of the content I've had on my streaming channels and my YouTube channel, you know, if I mention about March Madness and tournament, I could think of one good thing that makes it really cool, and that is Amiibo tournaments. And talk about the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate March Madness Amiibo Tournament 2026. I'm going to break down what's going to be going on with the tournament and how I'm doing things with the channel. Again, a lot of different stuff happening here on the channel. And again, I got to update you guys on stuff in life too. So before we get into the dwellings of the channel and everything that's going on with it, you guys can follow me on my platforms. So you guys can follow me on Twitter at WillYork_23, Twitch Texedo28, and YouTube Will York. You guys can also follow me on my Discord. You can add me on Switch. Apparently Switch 2 now. I do not have a Switch anymore. I do have a Switch 2, so I will probably need to update that logo. But you guys can also follow me, add me on friend with 3DS, PlayStation, and Xbox. Thus, I do not have those anymore either. So, why did I get rid of my PlayStation and my Xbox? Well, I could tell you why in a moment here too. You guys can also add me on Steam as well. So, like I said, it is good to be back here doing videos with you guys. See, it's a few different changes are happening. One, I am not going to be streaming anymore. Mostly because whenever I did try to stream, and I've done a lot of streaming, and not a lot of people tune in and watch. And, you know, that's kind of sad to hear. But I've actually found more success doing YouTube videos. So, from here on out, all the content you will see from me will actually be uploaded on YouTube. And I actually have really good internet now that I can actually upload videos. So where have I been for the almost last year? Well, I have, let's see, I've met a wonderful girl and we fell in love. Yeah, we have fallen in love. We actually bought this house here together almost a year ago, which is crazy. We love it. We love everything we have about the house. It's a nice, quiet location. And we actually got good internet too, which we use that a lot to stream movies and stuff. So, yeah, we love the internet. But as time went by, we actually also got married last year too in November. So we have actually been enjoying married life. Super fun and super exciting. And so here we are, back to doing videos, not streaming anymore, just so you guys know. All the content you see from me will be exclusively on YouTube. It's not because I'm a content creator or anything, it's just I find myself finding more success with YouTube than I have with Twitch and a lot of the different places that I've tried streaming. Again, not a lot of people tuned in, mostly because when I started streaming, I did not have good internet. And now that I live somewhere and I have good internet, I'm just not wanting to jeopardize that. I mean, as much as I'd like to go back to streaming and do the connectivity, I just find more thrills in actually doing videos. So this video that you are seeing is actually being recorded and will be uploaded on my YouTube channel. Again, if you want to get to that YouTube channel, you just look for Will York. Simple enough. But you're like, well, there's probably hundreds of Will Yorks. How do I know which one is yours? Well, on the right side of your screen, if you see that text logo, that will guide you. That is your biggest guide. I made that logo from a long time ago. I am proud I made that logo. It's one of my favorite things that I've created. So that logo on the right side of your screen where it says follow and subscribe, that's your guide to find my YouTube channel. So anyway, these are all my platforms. And if you're still wondering, Will, you mentioned something about getting rid of your PlayStation and Xbox. Like, what's going on with that? Well, and to be honest, at the time that I've lived here, I really haven't played any of those consoles very much. So I sold my PlayStation 4, and I also gave my Xbox Series X to my best friend who loves the system. He's been wanting one for a long time, and I gave it to him for free for a wedding gift because he was my best man, and he's also my best bud. So if you're watching, dude, I'm glad that you enjoy and that you really enjoyed the system, because I'm actually more satisfied with my Switch 2 and my Steam Deck and my 3DS. I'm just satisfied with what I have. So, like I said, from here out, I'm not streaming. It is all YouTube recording. So, not exactly sure the timeline. I would have to say maybe Mondays, because those are the nights where my wife works the latest out of all the days of the week. And for the rest of the week, she gets off at 6, gets home around 7. And so I got to make sure I spend time with her, because it's important, man. Guys, it is very important to spend time with your wives, especially when they work in where they work. So I'm not going to dwell into more details. So with that all out of the way, let's get into the action. Of course, we are only about a month and a half away from the actual March Madness, and of course that's one of the biggest spectacles of the entire calendar year is the March Madness tournament. But on this channel, we talk about video games, and of course I always thought it'd be really cool, like, hey, I thought it'd be really cool to have a bunch of Amiibos. I have all 88 character Amiibos to be exact, and put them in a big tournament. Put them in a tournament and see who will come out on top as a champion. Well, wonder no more, my friends, because this is what the first part of, I believe, a 10-part video series that I'm doing for March Madness. So the idea is to do all this and get done before the actual March Madness tournament starts. And so for each different video, I will highlight what's going to go on in each one. Like, we're going to have, like, this one's about the selection show. So yes, this is new. I am doing, if you've seen all my other Amiibo videos in the channel, you've seen a lot of the, the qualifiers and stuff. We now have a selection show. And the next video after that will be building the bracket. So, and I will be building the bracket. And then we'll have 2 qualifier videos, 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds, because it's a big field. And then the last video will be like the last 32 Amiibos in the tournament. So we're looking at about 10 videos here, if I did my math correctly. So yeah, about 10 videos in about 8 weeks before the actual tournament starts. So that's probably about 2 a week. So, and these will all get on different times. So I'm trying to aim for Mondays for the uploads. But for now, again, you just go to my YouTube channel, just make sure you subscribe, turn on some notifications, and tune in to when the action you will get for this tournament. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and get right into our preview, which this is also new for those who have been lifelong fans of the Amiibo tournament. This is another new thing. So again, the selection show is brand new. So without much further ado, yes, we are doing a picker wheel on this. So we are going to pick and find out who is going to make, well, of course, all the Amiibos are in the tournament, but where will they end up? Well, the only way to find out is to actually watch. Oh, and and I'll show you guys a little bit. So what I'll be doing, as each one goes along, I will write down that Amiibo. Some Amiibos will get buys, like for automatic first round bids, other Amiibos will have to fight their way into it. And there's no rankings, no seedings, no defending champion. This is all from scratch. So, without much further ado, let's go ahead and get into the action. So, here we go. The first slot of this tournament. And again, if you guys can see that, great. If not, all right, who do we have here? Our first entrant is Link. Link is heading to the qualifier. We'll hide the choice so that when he's not selected again. So that's the new method with the selector set. I got all the Amiibos lined up, and if you're selected, you do not get to be selected again. So here we go. Who will Link face in a qualifier round? This is a qualifier spot. And Bayonetta. And if you guys are recognizing with the logos. All right. Link will take on Bayonetta in the first part of the qualifier. Next, who will be our Amiibo that gets a first round bye? That will go automatically to the first round. The Amiibo is Wolf. And again, I will be building the bracket in the next video. So for now, we are selecting our Amiibos. Feel free to make a guess on who you want and everything. So who's going to be going to the next part of the qualifier? And that will be Wario. So again, I'm just writing these all down. And whoever selected is selected. And this Wario will face Ken in the qualifier round. All right. The next two Amiibo selected will get buys to the first round. And the first of those is Falco. And again, I will be building this in the next round. So we are just selecting Amiibos in this video, and then the next one I'll be building the bracket and talking about best odds and chances. And looks like Lucina, yes, had to make sure Lucina gets a first round bid. All right, next two are qualifiers. Who will Lucina face? One of these two Amiibos. The first one is Pac-Man. And again, I hide the choices so that no one gets selected twice. Of course, you will see the video, you'll see the wheel shrink down. Bowser. So Lucina will face the winner of Pac-Man and Bowser. All right. And this next two that select already get in for the first round. So the first of these two is Zero Suit Samus. And Zero Suit Samus will face... I feel like it's good advantage if you're automatically in a first round, you don't have to worry about the qualifier. And Zero Suit Samus will face Lucario. All right, the next two Amiibos are qualifiers. And again, we got a long way to go for this because we got 88 Amiibos. But by the end of this video, everybody will have a spot. And we got King DDD in the qualifier. Who will DDD face off against? And Ryu, King DDD will face off against Ryu. Alrighty. Alright, the next Amiibo gets a first round bye. And that amiibo is the Wii Fit Trainer. Okay. This is starting to start getting interesting. Again, I will select the amiibos, and then the next video I do, we will put them in their brackets and analyze. All right, next part for the qualifier, we got Ganondorf. This is going to be a very interesting tournament, and I can't wait to talk about all of this in the next video. And again, if you guys are tuning in, this is going to be YouTube exclusive. All videos from here on out will be up on YouTube. Oh, we got Ganondorf taking on Marth, and this is a qualifier match too. So I'm excited for this. It's fun to come back to do videos, and it's come back to do it for you guys. All right, and we got Lucas in the first round. Again, if you get selected for the first round, you don't have to worry about the qualifier, just the winner of the qualifier, because those could end up going all the way. And it's happened too. All right, next first round participant is Snake. The bracket is starting to come along, but we still got a long ways to go. And Snake will face the winner of, looks like Terry. And who will Terry face in the qualifier? Terry will face Meta Knight. Again, if you guys wish to know more about the Amiibo tournaments, and everything, you can find those on the platforms, on the streaming platform channels. You can also find replays of those on the YouTube channel as well. All right, we are almost done with the north quadrant of the bracket, and these two are going for first round. So we got Palutena all advancing to the first round. Again, no seeding, no defending champ. It's all fresh. And who will Palutena face in the first round? We got Fox. All right. So before I go through, I will go through each of the participants in this quadrant that I want to call the North. I'm going to call this quadrant the North. So I have Link, Bayonetta, Wolf, Wario, Ken, Falco, Lucina, Pac-Man, Bowser, Zero Suit Samus, Lucario, Key DDD, Ryu, Wii Fit Trainer, Ganondorf, Marth, Lucas, Snake, Terry, Meta Knight, Palutena, and Fox. I can already see by looking at the bracket without even building it yet. I can see we got all 3 Star Fox reps in here, and we also got 2 Street Fighter reps in here, both of them in there, and they're both in the qualifier round. We also got 2 of the Fire Emblems in here. Bowser's the only Mario rep in here, so that's going to be very interesting. So yeah, that is very, very interesting here. Okay, I just didn't know. I thought I lost my music for a second. So anyway, all right. So we got it very interesting on North bracket, guys. But again, I will build that and we can analyze more on this in the next video. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and get into our South bracket, is what I'm calling the South. Alrighty, the first amiibo for the qualifier in the South region is... Ooh, it's Min Min. Alright. That's a pretty bold choice. Min Min and a qualifier in the South region. That ought to be interesting. She's good. And Min Min will face Hero. Another good one. Oh, that's a qualifier. I swear I'm not making this up. I let the wheel do the picking. And who will the winner of Min Min and Hero face? Looks like Daisy. I find this all super interesting. And from what, if you guys have seen those videos in the past, you've seen how good some of these amiibos are. I have not changed a thing about them. I wanted to, but they have no change. But Mario looks like he's going to be in the qualifier as well. And who will Mario face in the qualifier? You got Min Min and Hero in the qualifier, and that one's going to be a doozy. Mario, meanwhile, will face Sheik in the qualifier. And who will Mario and Sheik face off? Well, the winner of Mario and Sheik will face off against, looks like Mithra. So already we're getting some bold amiibos in this region. The South is shaping up so far to be probably the toughest region in this tournament. But this next amiibo, Cloud, he gets a first round bye. Again, if you get that first round bye, you do not have to go through the qualifier. You just have to wait for the winner of the qualifier. And this next amiibo is in the qualifier itself. We got the Pokemon trainer. Interesting. So who will the Pokemon trainer face? Looks like we have Corin. Interesting. All right. We got all sorts of good stuff here in the South. This is actually turning out to be very interesting here in the South. And you guys notice for every high choice, the wheel gets smaller. All right, we have a Mii Gunner already coming into the first round. No need for a qualifier. But who will the Gunner face in the first round? The Mii Gunner will face Roy. It's ought to be very interesting. All right, next set of qualifier. We got Alex from Minecraft. We're getting a lot of DLC fighters in this region, so this ought to be very interesting. The DLC fighters are the tough amiibos. They're some of the toughest ones I've trained. Who will Alex face? Little Mac. And again, we will watch all these matches come into action. They're just going to be in different videos. And of course, I will provide play-by-play and commentary to a lot of these matches. Next one is Toon Link. Toon Link used to be pretty good back in the day. All right. This is going to be a very dangerous South bracket. Next for the qualifier is Ice Climbers. And who will the Ice Climbers take on in their qualifier matchup? Looks like we have Crom. All right, who will Ice Climbers or Crom face off against? Well, it looks to be Zelda. This ought to be very interesting. All right, the next amiibo to go to the first round is... looks like Banjo-Kazooie. They've been pretty good in the past too. We're getting a lot of the DLC amiibos here. Looks like we're about to get another one. This is for a qualifier. Ooh, we got Sephiroth. For the record, I am not making this all up. I let the wheel do the picking. Who will Sephiroth face in the qualifier round? Looks to be like Kazuya. Again, I'm not making this up. I let the wheel do the talking. That's a dangerous qualifier. Oh, but this is a first round action. So these next amiibos get first round buys. Looks like we got Greninja. And Greninja will face off against Ness. Alright, I'm gonna hide this choice, and then we are down to just 44 amiibos. That's all that's left. There is 44 amiibos. We're halfway through, and I'm looking at this early bracket. Oh my gosh, this is probably the most dangerous bracket part of the whole tournament. I think you got a lot of good DLC amiibos in here. There's so many good ones. You got Min, Hero, Mithra, Alex, Banjo-Kazooie, Sephiroth, and Kazuya. That's 7 good DLC amiibos right there. And then you got good regular amiibos. You got me, Gunner, Toon Link. It is good. Excuse me. Yeah, crazy stuff. And again, I will build all this in the next video. So without much further ado, we now go over to our East bracket. So the first amiibo selected to the East bracket is Dr. Mario. Once again, the wheel is starting to shrink. You're starting to see more faces on here. Dr. Mario will face off against Pikachu. Alright, that ought to be interesting. Alright, who will get a first round bye? We have Olimar. Olimar gets a first round bye. Alright, next qualifier. Next amiibo for the qualifier round is... looks to be... Isabelle. Alright. Alright, and who will Isabelle face off in the qualifier? Oops. Joker. And who will the winner of Isabelle and Joker face in the first round? That answer looks to be like Mewtwo. All right, next one up, who gets a first round bye? Looks like Pyra. Pyra gets the first round bye. So did Mithra too. All right, which of these two next amiibos will get a chance to face Pyra? First of all, we have Piranha Plant. And who will Piranha Plant face? And I notice I'm starting to run out of DLC amiibos. That's starting to grow small. The Piranha Plant will face the Villager. And again, I will build these. I will build the bracket for them in the next video. All right, this next two amiibos get a first round bye. The first of these two is Samus. And Samus will face off against Dark Pit. And who's next for the qualifier? We're still in the East bracket. We have the Mii Sword Fighter. And who will they face off against? Mii Sword Fighter will take on, looks like, Yoshi. Next up, who will get here a first round bye? The winner of Mii Sword Fighter and Yoshi will be going up against Byleth. All right, next set of qualifier amiibos. Next one up is, looks like, Mega Man. Who will Mega Man face off in the qualifier? It is Pit. All right. And the winner of Mega Man and Pit will take on this amiibo. Richter. All right, this next amiibo gets a first round bye. And that is Peach. As the guys can notice, as the more amiibos get selected, the wheel picture gets big. And Donkey Kong is the next one up for qualifier. We have 3 more amiibos before the end of the East. Which 3 will these be? We got Kirby being Donkey Kong's opponent. Alright, and then these last 2 will fill up the East, and then we're down to 22. This next amiibo is the Mii Fighter. Let's see, there's Gunner, Sword Fighter, this is Brawler. I was trying to remember the correct terminology. Yeah, there's Gunner, Sword Fighter, and Brawler. Who will the Brawler face in the first round? Looks like Incineroar. So, this looks like a pretty good solid region. I mean, you got Pyra in there, you got Joker and Isabelle and the Piranha Plants in this region too. Richter's a good one. I mean, it's a good region. It's not bad. It's not as loaded as the South, I will say. And again, I will talk about it all in the next video. So, these amiibos you see here on your screen, the ones you see here on your screen, These are the last 22, so they will get a spot in the tournament. But where will they end up in the tournament? Only one way to find out. Let's spin. All right, our first Amiibo up in the qualifier in the West bracket is... looks like we have Dark Samus. And there's still some pretty good names in there. You got King K. Rool, you got Steve and Sora in there. You still got some of those in there too. Well, who will Dark Samus face off against in the qualifier? Looks like we have Rob. All right, who will get a first round bye? Interesting, we got Duck Hunt in for a first round bye. But again, any of these Amiibos can take you by surprise. All right, next up for the qualifier, we have Ridley. Next up, who will Ridley face in the qualifier? Looks to be, is it Falcon? It is Captain Falcon. All right, who will the winner of Ridley and Captain Falcon take on? Who will get a first round bye here? It looks to be, ooh, looks like Inkling. Yeah, it is. All right. Next Amiibo gets a first round bye. Looks like we have, is it Bowser Jr.? All right, we are down to 15 spots left. And each one's gonna get a spot. But we got, looks like Steve's in a qualifier. And who will Steve be facing on in the qualifier? Looks like we got Sonic. All right, we are down to 13. These next two Amiibos are a first round matchup. The first of those is Robin. Who will Robin face? Let's find out. Robin looks to face off against, ooh, looks like Pichu. If you guys notice in the middle, the color changes. I saw it hit yellow and it was on a Pichu spot. All right, next two Amiibos go into qualifier. The first of these two is, looks like Luigi. It is. And Luigi will face off against Ike. All right, we have next Amiibo is a first round bye, and that Amiibo just happens to be Young Link. All right, we only have a few spots left. 8 spots left. We got Game & Watch in the qualifier. All right, 7 spots remain. Who will Game & Watch face in the qualifier? Looks like Jigglypuff. All right, so let's look over our last 6. So we still got 2 reps from the Donkey Kong series, is still surprising. We got the last Mario rep in Rosalina, the last Xenoblade rep in Shulk. Sora is still in here, which he's a good DLC one. He's the last of the DLC. But who will get the first round matchup here? Who will get a first round bye? It is Rosalina. All right, we have 5 left. Who will get a first round bye here? We have Shulk. All right, 4. We have 4 spots. And we got King K. Rool in the qualifier. All right, the last qualifier spot. Who will King K. Rool face off against? And it's gonna be Simon. All right, and it comes to, we know this matchup, it's gonna be Diddy Kong and Sora, but we gotta do one last spin here. So whoever gets this spot will go on, will be the first. So looks like we have, yep, it is Diddy Kong. And he will take on Sora. So with that out of the way, Sora is the last remaining amiibo, which means he gets the last spot in this tournament. And just like that, the bracket has been complete on my end. I have a written bracket. So give me just a moment. So as I know it's kind of hard for you all to see this at home, but I have written down all of the amiibos that have been selected. And on the next video, I will build the bracket but with this information. So I'm just looking at it and I'm still astounded by the South. I think out of all the regions that I have here, I think the South is the most dangerous one. And I will elaborate more on that in the next video. So, I do want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this video and for watching it. You guys are all awesome, and I appreciate each and every one who watched these videos just because it's fun. It's fun, and I enjoy doing it. So if you want to catch this video and all of my others, just feel free to head on down to my YouTube channel, which I'll pop that up for you guys. You guys can also follow me on socials. You can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and again, YouTube. Just look for that text logo on the right side of your screen. You guys can also add me on Discord and also add me on gaming consoles, 3DS, Switch. You can add me on PlayStation, Xbox if you want to, but I don't play those anymore. But you guys can also add me on Steam as well. So again, this is a recorded video. I'm not doing the live stream stuff anymore. Before I go, if you guys see that, yeah, this Nintendo banner behind me, that's an actual product. It's not exactly from Nintendo, it's from my workplace that used to do the stuff for Nintendo. Like if you went to a Walmart and you see the displays and stuff, you would find one of these there. They were about to throw that away a couple years ago, and I'm like, I'm claiming this. I cannot say no. So, cool thing, this one cool new addition about having a house is you get to find cool stuff and add cool stuff to the walls. So, don't forget, guys, this video will be coming up sometime this week. At some point, just remember to go ahead over to my YouTube channel. Feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. And for more, and again, more videos will be showing up in the future. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I'll be back sometime later with the we build the bracket. So the selection show is officially over for this Amiibo tournament, March Madness of 2026, and now we will build the bracket, and that is the next video up in line. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I hope you guys have a great, wonderful evening, day, whatever it is. You guys take it well and take it easy. I will catch you all on the flip side. Have a good one, guys.